audio on demand from Vision Christian Media.
Exploring faith and the future. Neil Johnson and Bible teacher Dr. Kameel Majdali.
What an amazing exploration of the biblical character of Sampson. In weakness and in strength. We've been talking over these past few programs about what it is to be consecrated to God and the value of having our thought life in check. Let's talk some more about that today, Kameel, because what we think sometimes then results in what we say. What are your thoughts?
What we think will result in time of what we will say. And if we learn any lesson from the book of James chapter 3, our tongue can get us into big trouble. It's set by the fire of hell, and no man can tame it. So James tells us, and it's true. But God can tame the tongue, and that's why we need to consecrate ourselves to Him, so that there will come the needful control of our thought life, our words, and of course our actions. We've been learning that Sampson was able to become very strong because of his consecration. Now, in his case, it was a Nazirite vow. In our case today, New Testament believers, it's by surrendering our whole life willingly and fully to God. See, Sampson, in one sense, had no choice. He was consecrated from the womb. Here, we have a choice, and we therefore give ourselves to God voluntarily for His purposes. So when Romans 12, 1 and 2, which I have quoted in earlier programs, says to give your bodies as a living sacrifice, but let your mind be renewed, so on and so forth, all this brings empowerment, but not for our own sake or not so we can do our own thing. It is given so that we can fulfill the call of God on our lives. But remember, all calls from God to the various peoples around the world are not isolated, individualistic calls that have nothing to do with each other. God calls all of us, Neil, for a simple purpose, because God is only doing one thing. He's building a kingdom. And all of us who are called and chosen of Him are basically called to assist or to do our part in His kingdom building program.
So the consecration of a life results in a different way of thinking and therefore a different way of speaking. And how we speak might actually make us weak or make us strong.
Well, absolutely. Now, Jesus says, I believe it's in Matthew 12, that by your words you shall be justified, and by your words you shall be condemned. In other words, He says earlier, every idle word a person speaks, they will have to give an account on the day of judgment. Well, if you want to avoid such a terrifying scenario, then get a grip and let God help you to take care of your words. And that starts, of course, with your thought life, because that's where the words will come from. Think of it like this. When somebody steps on your foot, or not your foot, let's say you step on someone's foot, Neil, because I couldn't imagine you doing this, step on someone's foot and an expletive comes out. Now, nobody put that expletive in their mouth. That expletive was already floating around inside of them when it came out. Now, we expect the world to talk that way. Not that we enjoy it, but it happens. But when Christians are doing that, then we know that there's some, shall we say, major surgery that needs to be done in the heart. Well, again, consecration is the beginning to the road of purity, victory, and empowerment.
Faith and the Future with Neil Johnson and Dr. Kameel Majdali from Teach All Nations. For more from Dr. Majdali, including books and DVDs on prophecy, Bible commentaries, plus today's and other episodes of Faith and the Future, go to vision.org.au.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.